Hi, I'm Olivia, and welcome to Connecting the Dots in Early Childhood Education. In today's video, I sit down virtually with my friend Antron. Antron is a kindergarten teacher and has recently written his own book.
Hey, hi everyone. Thank you so much for listening in. I'm here with Antron, and I know in my introduction I talked a little bit about his background, but Antron, welcome. And can you tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
Thanks for having me. So, I'm Antron Sykes. I've been in education for 7 years, but I feel like it goes back further than that. Because as a kid, I've always been involved with like working with the youth, Boys and Girls Club, being counselors and some of that sort. And I never fully intended to go into education. It kind of found me, I like to say. As a student myself, I really relied on like art because I wasn't as extroverted as most kids. So I like to express myself in, I guess, other ways because I wasn't so outspoken. So I would just draw, do creative writing, poetry and things of that sort. And I really never intended, like, I never imagined that I actually would become a teacher. It was not until I was working college and at Jumpstart, which was a AmeriCorps program, where I was in a preschool and like I just really enjoyed working with the kids. And there's just one child who like will wake up every time I came in, like just excitement. So that's when I transitioned from government politics into education. And through Teach for America, I was able to get into the classroom and become a court member in 2014. And now here I am. And I feel like it's been so long, even though I'm sure I have so much further ahead because it's only been.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, that's how Antron and I know each other. We actually were in Teach for America together, got our masters together at Hunter College. And I really like how you said you never really imagined yourself in education and it kind of found you, because that resonates with me. I feel the exact same way. When I was in college, I was pre-law. I took my LSATs. I thought law school was the journey for me, and life had a different plan. And so I can very much relate to that. So thank you so much for doing the podcast with us. And something that I'm really excited to share with everybody is that Antron is an educator, but he just recently also wrote a book. So Antron, can you tell us a little bit about the inspiration for the book, what it's about?
So this book, much like education, kind of found me. While in class teaching one of my students, I originally was writing another book, which I have, completed. But in the midst of creating that book and realizing like, wow, I really enjoy this process, seeing how the students react to the book and seeing like taking the recommendations, like add this character, or even them, arguing over who's which character. I was like it just really filled me and gave me joy and really motivation. So when the pandemic hit and I was like thinking about putting out that book, I was just like really like this book kind of came to me in my head as a poem. I was just really thinking about going through the essential workers in my mind and just thinking about like how they don't wear capes and how they help contribute to society. And as I even got through thinking about essential workers, of course, we had unfortunate things going on in the social justice end with George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor all happening in the midst of this pandemic. And like literally in my mind, as like I was creating the words to this poem, towards the end of it, I started thinking about the bigger picture, and the bigger picture as far as who are the heroes to us and who I want students to see heroes as, and whoever picks up this book. And I really, as I illustrated, because I also illustrated the book as well, it was just natural people who came to mind when I thought of that essential worker, people in my life. And I included them into the book. And then as I got to the later end of the book, when we talked about social justice and some of the leaders of the past and present, that's when I really wanted to have that rich imagery be represented, so that when students see those pages, or whatever child, adult, or whoever picks up the book, opens it up, they can literally see something that, that can live on. I was thinking about like, of course we get boggled down in the pandemic, and it's so easy to, like think when this is gonna be over, or when this is over, I will do blank. So I feel like as we see it's stretching out, we don't know what the future holds as far as what over will be. So I thought, what message would I want to resonate and come out of this pandemic with? And this is how My Heroes Don't Wear Capes came about.
Amazing, amazing. So can you tell us a little bit about the process of kind of writing and illustrating a book. It sounds like art has always been an outlet for you. So cool that you're able to kind of bring it into a book form. But can you tell us a little bit more about the process? Is this something you always imagined you would do?
So initially, honestly, as a child, I've always I always wanted, like, I would watch TV shows and be inspired. It's like, I want to be a superhero. I want, so not even necessarily superhero, just a character or a person on a journey. So a lot of times I would just take loose leaf papers and like draw little comics, if you will. But I never thought like, I'm gonna put out a book like at that moment. Well, after being in school and like seeing like read alouds and kids falling in love with books and seeing what kids want in books and just my own experiences, thinking like, I've never read a book about this. Like, who's gonna write my story? I decided like this, is the perfect time, and just with my given talent, I would say, because I love art. Like, I've literally been drawing since I was a kid. I was like, I need to take my talent and my words and make a message and really impact my students as well. And also, anyone who will pick that book up and really need that inspiration, and I can really have that power to reflect what I feel is not represented and put it into stories, and also have more representation amongst our students of color, of course. So that's
amazing. I can like feel how passionate you are about it. So I'm just so excited for you, and I'm so excited to have you on the podcast and be sharing this. So by the time this podcast comes out, the book will be out. So where can people access the book?
So the book is going to be available on Amazon.com. You can check right there. My Heroes Don't Wear Capes. And you can also type in Antron Sykes and it'll pop up as well. And it's going to be available. Well, it is available ebook, Kindle, or as well paperback.
Very cool. Very cool. I'll be sure to be getting one. And I'm going to definitely put all of the links to all of your things in the description box. And of course, you're an educator. So you're not just, busy writing a book, you also are teaching. So can you tell us a little bit, I mean, this has been such a trying time for everyone. And I think educators have been really called to do above and beyond what they ever thought they would be called to do. And I think it's really important that educators take a second to really think about how they're taking care of themselves during this time, because they are always taking care, of course, of their students, the families. But can you share a tip with everybody? What's something, especially during the pandemic, but in general, as an educator, that you do to practice self-care?
I would say it's kind of like a motto I follow now. I would say this has been really helping me produce success. I would say 3 things: run, write, and ready. And what I mean by that is like, I make sure that I get some physical in, whether it's like going on a jog. It really helps me clear my mind and my creative space. Write, not necessarily just writing a book, but just writing my thoughts or my expressions in different ways. Also, I like, I write with my students, always inspire them to jot down and express themselves. So I think I continue to write, whether it's a book or just my own thoughts. And then I said ready is something that me and my partner actually practice right now, my fiance, is being ready, being spontaneous, just being ready to, drop and do something. Because I think that's something we have to kind of take in, especially during this pandemic where we're not as, out there.
Definitely. I like that. I like those like 3 tips. They all kind of go together. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Antron, for chatting with me and taking a few minutes. I hope everybody checks out your book. I'm going to be sure to get the links and post them in the description box. And thank you for listening, everybody. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
See you later, guys.
Thanks so much for watching. To find out more about Antron and his book, be sure to see the links in the description box below. To find out more about CTD and ECE, please visit our website and all of our social media links. The handles and links can be found at the slide at the end of the video. I'll see you next time. Bye.